Alright, in this next video we are going to solve inequalities using multiplication and division. And again, just like with addition and subtraction, it works exactly the same as solving equations with one big but. Okay, when we multiply by a negative number, we have to flip the inequality sign. Okay, I don't care what the answer is. The only thing I care about is that number that we are getting rid of. If that number alone is negative, you have to flip the inequality sign. So let's try some. The first one, again, just like with equations, we need to identify our inequality sign and ask ourselves what is happening to our variable. This is x divided by 2. So what's the opposite of divide? It is to multiply both sides by 2. So I'm multiplying this side by 2, multiplied by 2. So again, the 2's will cross reduce themselves out. And I'm left, oh, did I multiply by a negative number? Is this 2 negative? No, so everything stays the same. So x is less than negative 1 times a positive 2 will give me a negative 2. So, negative 2 will go in the center of our number line. 0 is closer to me, so that's where we'll start counting. Negative 1, negative 2, negative 3. And we ask ourselves the question, is negative 2 less than negative 2? The answer is no. So that means that dot has to be open. We can't shade it in because it is not a solution or an answer. The arrow tells us to shade backwards or down that way. So we'll shade down that way. And again, our inequality sign should be the same as our arrowhead. So solutions, again, could be negative 2.1, negative 2.5, negative 3. Anything down that way. How about the next one? Again, we identify our inequality sign and we look at our variable. This says b divided by negative 8. The opposite of dividing is to multiply by negative 8 on the right, which means we have to multiply by negative 8 on the right. Did I multiply or divide by a negative number? The answer is yes. So that means I have to flip this inequality sign from less than to greater than. Negative 8 times a half, or half of negative 8, would be negative 4. Is greater than, my negative 8's would go away, and I'm left with b. What's wrong with this answer? The variable is on the wrong side. So again, the only reason we're doing this is so that we can graph it easier. I'm going to pick this inequality up and flip it. So I'm going to move the b to the right hand side. I'm going to pick this inequality up and make it back to less than, and the negative 4 will come on the right hand side. These two things say and mean the exact same thing. The only reason we do it is so that we can shade the way the arrow is pointing. So again, negative 4 will come in here. 0 is back towards me, so that's where we'll start counting. Negative 3, negative 4, negative 5. And we ask ourselves the question, is negative 4 less than negative 4? No. So I have an open dot, and the arrow tells me to shade back towards negative 5. And my arrowhead and my inequality are the same. So, here are 2 more questions. Hit pause, try them, and I'll be back to give you the answers. So, here's our inequality sign. The z is over here. The opposite of multiplying is to divide by negative 5 on both sides. Did I divide or multiply by a negative? Yes. So this inequality sign has to flip. So instead of being greater than, it will be less than or equal to. And negative 5 divided by negative 5 will give me a positive z. That's what I want. Is less than or equal to 25 divided by a negative 5 will give me negative 5. So we put negative 5 down here. 0 is back towards me, so that's where we'll start. Negative 4, negative 5, negative 6. And we ask ourselves the question, is negative 5 less than or equal to negative 5? The answer is yes, so that means we need to shade it in because it is a solution, and we shade the way the arrow is pointing, and the inequality sign and the arrowhead are the same. The last one, again, the opposite of multiplying is to divide by 12 on both sides. Did I divide by a negative? No. So everything stays the same. 12 divided by 12 will give me 1x. That's what we want. The inequality sign will stay the same. And negative 144 divided by 12 is negative 12. So I can come down here and put negative 12 in the middle of my number line. 0 is back here towards me, so that's where we'll start counting. And I have negative 11, negative 12, negative 13. And ask yourself the question, is negative 12 less than negative 12? No. So we have that open dot to say the answers start here, and then we shade the way the inequality sign or the arrowhead tells us to shade. So solutions could be negative 12.5, negative 13, negative 74, anything back that way. Good luck.